Hello everybody, Lokimagics, another day, another video, but in this video today we are going to be looking at Demon Faction Stage 21 clear using no Legos, only epics. So if you're interested in that, let's get right into the video. Alright, so this is the champions, and I call this team Team Succubus because these ladies do not mess around and they are here to get the job done. So let's break down each one of these champions, and we are going to start off with Umbro. So she is here for two reasons. One is block buffs, which is awesome for this stage because Valkyries and Martyrs have very annoying buffs, right? And what's cool is they'll still try to use it, but nothing happens because they have block buffs. So pretty much they wasted one turn. And the second reason why she's here is because of those provoke. And that provoke definitely helps keeping these squishier champions alive because Allure is really good for the final boss on this stage, but she is squishy, so she needs a little bit of help, right? So Umbro, very good crowd controller for this team comp, and let's look at her gear real quick. Alright, here we go. This is my Umbro and her artifact set. Now I'm not saying you have to use immortal and speed on her, I'm just showing you what I have so that way you could kind of see the stats where they were at when we cleared this content, right? And this is her masteries, and then this one here is fully booked out. You can see right here, fully booked out. And another thing too, I think stun sets are really good for champions when it comes to faction wars, especially when they have like this, like attack all enemies, things like that, right? Attacks all enemy. I feel like stun set could do you a lot of good, so definitely check that out if you have some available. All right, so let's go back to the fight. The next champion on this list is Allure, and this champion is great, but oh my god, she is squishy. Like, she really cannot stay alive, so she needs a lot of help. So the way I played her in this team comp is I attacked Martyrs because they have a weak affinity against her. So does Valkyrie, but it really helped reducing their damage output because they couldn't take a turn. Plus with Umbro's block buffs and provoke, it really mitigated a lot of damage output from your opposition. So Allure is definitely a key component, and when you get to the boss, she is just going to pretty much put him on lock. Like, he can't do anything because the turn meter is constantly being decreased. So she is definitely really good for this content and in a lot of other content. So if you level her up, you won't be disappointed. Super strong in Fire 92. So let's take a look at her gear and what she was rocking in this fight. So here we go. This is my Allure, and I have her in Relentless set because I really think she benefits really well off the Relentless set because of that A1, right? If the more turns she could take, the more she could decrease turn meter. So I think this is a good set for her. So it's just my recommendation. And then for her masteries, I just wanted to give her a little bit more accuracy, some crit rate, crit damage, so I didn't fully do this. And then when it comes to her books, I don't think you have to book her out because you're really trying to get this value out of her A1, right? So this is just damage. So you could book her if you want, but I don't think you really have to. So, but mine was booked out. So just letting you know how mine was built out. And here you go. So this is my Allure, and let's get back to the fight. And they are still at round one, and as you guessed, yes, this build does take a little bit longer than most because we're using a lot of attack type champions, but they are so squishy. I had to build them out more defensively, so the fight is longer. This is why I call them Team Succubus, because man, they will wear you out, man. They will suck you dry. Not to be funny, but that's just an analogy, right? But regardless, the next champion we're talking about is Timex the Hayflower. I think I said her name right, but this champion primarily serves two purposes. One is that she puts her decreased speed on, I think, two champions with her A2, and then she uses her A1 if they have decreased speed to heal you, all right? So definitely you'll see it right here, puts on decreased speed, and then she uses her A1 to heal the party. She is your main healer, so pretty much that's her reason to be here because there's no one else that really heals, right? If you have immortal set, you could get small heals, but it's definitely better to have like a healer in your comp. This is why, see, she just did it. So that's her purpose for this team comp, and now let's check her out up close. All right, here she goes, Hayflower, and she does look like a flower. Pretty interesting. I actually do like her design now that I know that's her name. Anyways, let's look at her artifacts. So she is wearing like a mixture set of everything. So like I said, this is just how I built them out because I really don't have any stun sets. So I had to use this. And her masteries, she doesn't have any. So that is good for you guys who don't want to use a lot of resources. And then her A1 is booked and her A2 is booked. But I don't think you really need to book this champion. If you have someone else that could decrease speed in your team comp, then definitely don't book her out, because you really just want her to use this A1 for the heals, right? And then she has this passive that also mitigates damage by 5%, and she has the faction aura HP for 30%. So she's kind of already good to go. So if you want to book her, sure. You want to put masteries on her, sure. But that is totally up to you. The main thing is just these stats, right? And with that being said, let's go back to the fight. Let's see how far they got so far. All right, not too bad. Looks like they're moving along. Almost finished with round 1. But the next champion we're going to talk about is Aaroness. Now, this champion here has only one primary role, and that is to extend our debuffs. Because when we get to round 2 with the Valkyries, if you do any buff extensions, they're going to get increased turn meter, which makes them go faster, right? So if you're able to extend those block buffs with Aaroness, it's definitely going to help keeping those champions locked down, because they might use their A2 abilities but nothing will happen, so they just waste a turn, right? So she really helps out controlling the outcome of battles by extending those debuffs. Super helpful. But now let's take a look at her gear. All right, here she goes. This is what she's wearing. And since we were lacking in damage so bad, I put her in toxic set. So this gave us a little bit more damage. So that was cool. But yeah, so you could do little things like that, right? Toxic set or stun set. There's all kinds of ways you could approach this. And her masteries, I did fully do her masteries. This is what she was rocking. And then her skills are booked. So here you go. This is what she was in this team composition. Now, hopefully when we get back to the fight, they are further along. Okay, not bad, almost done. But there is one thing I do want to mention. When you're using alert in this team comp, make sure you go for Valkyrie, because she is a strong affinity against Valkyrie. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to knock down her turn meter. And then at the beginning of this round, use Umbro to do her block bust first, and then immediately do provoke. So that way you have more control between those Valkyries, because once those Valkyries do their A2 and counter attack goes up, it's going to be over for this team comp. So try your best to keep those Valkyries suppressed, okay? And now the last champion we're going to talk about is Nasana. And her role is a pretty simple one too. She primarily was able to give us decreased attack, because that decreased attack is super important. Decreased attack is probably one of the best debuffs in the game. Just helps you stay alive a lot longer. And then she has an A2 where she does ally protection and shield, right? So she definitely helped Umbro from dying. She was able to pretty much kind of like soften the blows a little bit, because when Umbro provokes, she's going to have all that attention on her, and she kind of gets close to death sometimes. So having Nasana there definitely helped out, definitely helped us get to this point, right? And honestly, when it comes to stage 21, the hardest thing is getting here. Once you're here, it's pretty simple. Like, you almost just auto this, just kill the 2 ads and then just hit auto and you're good to go. So pretty much that is the whole team. Oh yeah, let's take a closer look at Nasana real quick. So here we go. Here is her stats, and she was rocking pretty much immortal, because I figured, hey, she's the one that's taking the hits, right, helping out Umbro. So gave her a little bit more survivability. And her masteries, I didn't do anything for her. And then when it comes to her books, I don't think, oh, I did book her out too. Yeah, because I wanted this to be on 3-turn cooldown. So I did book her out. And I definitely want this decreased attack to be on 3-turn cooldown. So yep, there you go. So this is the whole team. Now all we gotta do is take down the boss. So let's go back and check them out. Okay, not too bad. It looks like we are about to clear this stage 21, so we could put this on auto, and this is pretty much it, right? Like, this team is very slow, but it's because they are mostly attack type champions and they are squishy. So I had to build them with more defense instead of offense. So if you have some legendaries that you could use to replace them, don't be afraid to give them a little bit more offensive gear, so that way you could clear this a lot faster. But yeah, this boss is about to go down, and let's see the overall damage of individual champions. And anytime now, right? Anytime. Okay, it goes down, and this is their stats. This is what each one of them did. So yeah. And that is pretty much the end of this video. So this is kind of like a sneak peek of what's coming next. I am working on the Banner Lords, and I think this champion here is going to help us out. So just a little quick sneak peek. But regardless, I hope this video helped you out. Sorry it's like a day late. I really tried to get this out when Demon Faction was up, but you know, sometimes just real life, right? But regardless, hopefully this video did help you out and hopefully you learned something. So let me know in the comment section if this was helpful or not, or any questions you have. Don't be afraid to ask. I'll try my best to get back to you guys. But with that being said, hey, hopefully you guys are out there enjoying your week. Have a nice day tomorrow or night, whenever you see this video. But most importantly, take care, be safe, and catch you on the next one. Peace.